my name is Nick Rolls, and I play drums, keys, backing vocals, and I do most of the production for Dogs for Senate. Throughout this video, I'm also going to be talking about Anthony Stroud, who is the other half of Dogs for Senate. He plays guitar, he does the vocals, and he also plays bass. So Take It Slow all started from Anthony coming to me in October 2021 with an idea on guitar. I was like, I like this one. So let's bring it into the garage, which is where I have all my drum stuff set up, and let's see if we can get a forum going. Let's get a song started. So we actually took a video of that day. So from that point on, we just kind of ran with it. So each week we would get pretty much one day to work for a couple hours on the song. And so each Wednesday we would come in here to my place and we would just work on the song. So as you can see, there's a lot that goes into this. There's quite a bit of harmonies, a bunch of different vocal layers, and a ton of keys. And so let's get right into this. So, like I said, it all started with the guitar line, right? So, just changing it up a little bit on the verses. And then we had a whole different thing for the pre-chorus, which I can't remember if he came up with it or I came up with it, but I know that there were definitely a couple things that, you know, I would play on keys and then I'd send it over to him and he's like, oh, that's pretty cool. And we would change things up. So for the rhythm guitar, I believe some of it is just recorded right here through a 1/4" straight into the interface. And so I added a couple things. You can see that I added an amp to it, some EQ, just really cutting out the highs and the lows, compressor, tuner, British combo clean, you know. So most of the stuff that I use is either just here on Logic or Slate. So you'll notice on the rhythm guitar bus, I've got virtual tape, Slate's BBC rack, some spread, just because I like stereo spread and make it wide. Now let's move on to the bass. I always wanted that Tame Impala like slide kind of thing going on, so. And you can tell just by this over here, the bass is ridiculously overproduced. So not only a bass amp, but a compressor, 4 EQs. I mean, I really wanted certain notes in there and I really didn't want certain other like frequencies, I mean. And so it's got fresh air, it's got, yeah, tons of EQ, virtual tape, compression. It's a mess, really. Sub bass is put in there, it's a mess. So, but I like the sound that we got out of it. Then we go to the drums. So the drums are, I played it on a MIDI keyboard. In that video, I'm doing the cowbell, just right? So I actually did play these on a MIDI keyboard, like just that kind of stuff. Even some of the fills and everything. And then I went back in afterwards and I fixed stuff up. So everything in here, I just separated because it was gonna be a lot easier for me to do that. We're using the Neo Soul drum kit from Logic. And yeah, everything in here is just ended up manually putting it in, or manually fixing it at least, and going through the note velocity and all that just to make sure that it was consistent. Yeah, it's, like I said, some of this stuff, it took time, but it, you know, I feel like I like the sound of it by the end of it. So the drums. So, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. All right, let's get into the keys. Lots of keys, a lot of different organs. These things come from the Worship Essentials pack. Some of them come from Logic. And then these ones down here, I sent the song to my friend Preston Dawson, and he was like, yeah, I got some ideas for you. So I was like, sweet. And he sent some of these horn sounds and wee wah, which is the main synth lead. And you can see that I added some lead on top of that. We got choir pads, we got jazz organ, we got cathedral atmosphere organ. So we have this B3 in the beginning, which is just me slowly pulling the volume of it up, and also me pulling the pitch up as well. So the whole beginning is this B3 and this cathedral atmosphere patch, which I really like. Just super reverby and kind of cool. And then we've got the main synth lead. It started with Preston. Preston actually had this idea. So, wee wah, right? That's wee wah and wee wah yist, right? I thought it needed some high end, so I added this. They're not trumpets, really. It's a bright synth patch. Kind of 80s-esque, and then I put it together. And there you go. Other than that, I mean, we got Sad Boy Hours, we got Bing.com, and we got The Long Roads. Mixing all of those together. So that's for the pre-chorus. Then for the chorus, we have a B3 and another cathedral atmosphere. We got this Digital Dreams Drive. Just adding a little bit of drive into each verse, changing it up. Here's a little horn patch. Which you can hear comes in and out during the second chorus. And we got the guitar solo, some jazz organ in there. A little slide up there. And then we've got this. This also came from Preston. He gave like a little shh, and then I reversed it and did shh. We got this choir pad down here. We got this little added stuff. The guitar solo was double tracked. As you can see, I kind of messed up on this one. Yeah, so Anthony would send over the solo. Pretty compressed. I used an amp on the left side, but not the right side, because Anthony had recorded it through an amp. So yeah, they're slightly different. Yeah, but I think it sounds cool. All right, last but not least, vocals. Vocals were a little weird. For the verses, we recorded it here using the SM7B, but the choruses Anthony sent me, and he uses an AKG, I believe. So you can see that I have them completely separated. Center, left, right. So I would put certain things just on the track, other things in the bus. So for the center track, I have a compressor, multiple compressor or whatever, fresh air, and then a noise gate. for the left and right, I've got nothing. And then for the bus, I have EQ, de-esser, virtual tape, more compression, and then Howard Benson vocals, which I mostly used on the verses just for the echo and the output. Two different kinds of reverb, a longer reverb and a shorter reverb. But that gives us essentially the
9 to 5, overnight, I can't stand it, it ain't right.
So there you go. It's the exact same for verse 1 and verse 2.
When I find out where I'm going.
Since he recorded them here, I didn't really need to do anything different for the verses. But choruses, though, are a little bit different since he sent them to me. Again, center, left, and right. Compression, multipressor, or whatever, fresh air. But then the bus has EQ, tape, spread, just really widening it out. And if you actually look at the levels here, the left and right versus the middle, they're actually louder than the center. So that gives us this.
To avoid it, go slow.
That's essentially it. On the breakdown, I've got this EQ that all of a sudden kicks into effect. And it's a speakerphone effect.
Take it slow.
And then when we get to the end of the breakdown, turns off. We've got harmonies. I very quickly did the harmonies before I left for, I think it was a trip. So I've got them all just panned left and right.
Burning bridges is something that I would like to avoid here.
Oh, and the very last thing, some people wanted to know about the tape turning on. That is a free plugin from Waves that is just called Cassette Transport. So I just automated it so that what would happen is when the song starts, it turns on. So it would turn on, and then the rotor would eventually pick up, and that's what would bring us into the song. Then you can also tell at the end it's off. So, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching how we made Take It Slow. We feel so honored that so many of you love the song and are putting in playlists and everything. Love hearing that people are playing it and people have it stuck in their head, and that's just, it's so cool. It feels nice when you see how much work goes into each song and having people enjoy the song and having people like the song. Go to dogsforsenate.com, grab some merch, some hats, some shirts, vote Dogs in the Office, and keep sharing the song, keep playing the song, put it in some playlists. Love the song, love Dogs for Senate, put dogs in the office. They don't want dogs in office, but we're gonna show them. All right, have a good one. Bye.